Hello, welcome to my video of my blog. In this time, I'm going to talk about what happened tonight in 2024 NBA playoff day 54, where tonight was played the game 3 in the NBA finals, where the Boston Celtics defeated 106 to 99 the Dallas Mavericks, and with this victory, the Boston Celtics won the tier victory in the series, and now the most probably is they are gonna to win this series and to sweep this series, and they will crown as the new NBA champion team. Because remember that no team in the NBA history have recovered for a 0-3, and I think that this won't be the only occasion that the Mavericks are gonna to overturn this score. We're talking about this game. To be honest, it was a very emotional and very physical game, but in my opinion, it was a very bad play because both teams missed a lot of opportunities. There was several errors in both sides of the ball in both teams, and especially the referees didn't call some fouls or bad or fouls, but in the end, the Boston Celtics were the best team, and they deserve this victory. About this game, the first quarter, in the beginning of the game, the Mavericks started to play a better basketball because they played with a very high intensity and with a lot of emotion. Because remember that they were playing as a local team, as a home team, and they started to play a tremendous basketball level. Where in the hall of the quarter, they took a 30-point lead in the game, and in that moment, I thought that the Mavericks were gonna to take a more than 20 points lead, and then they are gonna to win this game, and they're gonna to decide this game since the first quarter or in the first half. But in that moment, Jason Kidd, the Dallas Mavericks head coach, decided to Luka Doncic to take a rest in the game, and this is when the Celtics took advantage of that. They closed better the game, and they reduced the game to a 1 point difference in the end of the first quarter. 30 to 31. In the second quarter, the game was closer, or was like the same game that the last minutes of the first quarter, where this game was very very intensive, very aggressive. But how I told you, both teams miss a lot of opportunities throwing the ball, and they play a very great offense. And in this quarter, both teams tied the game 2020, and in the end, the Mavericks were leading by just 1 point, 51 to 50 in the halftime. But the big difference was in the third quarter, where the Celtics play better. They adjust its basketball level and they made some adjustments in the halftime, where they play a tremendous defense game. Especially all the game in all the series, the Boston Celtics have been playing a tremendous defensive side, and they play very great basketball, where they won this quarter by 21 point, no, by 60-point difference, 35 by 19. They allowed just 19 points by the Mavericks, and they were leading in the end of the third quarter 85 to 20, in my opinion. And I thought that in that moment, in the end of the third quarter, that I thought that the game was over and the Celtics were gonna to win this game. And in the beginning of the first quarter, of the last quarter, in the first 3 to 4 minutes, the Boston Celtics started better the quarter, where they took a 20 points lead, 20 points lead in the game in the first 4 to 3 minutes of the quarter. And in that moment, to be honest, I thought that the game was over because the Celtics had the momentum in the game. But after that, the Mavericks started to reduce the game first to 10 points difference, and later to 2 or 3 point difference, because in that lapse from the lapse of 5-7 minutes, the Celtics relaxed this basketball level. They stopped to playing as a team, and they started to playing so to make some bad decision, and they started to playing as an individual team. And the Mavericks took advantage of this, and they reduced the game to a less than 6 point difference. But the game was very close. But when there was left 4 minutes to play, Luka Doncic made his sixth foul of the game. He was fouled off, and he didn't return to play. and in the last 4 minutes the Celtics adjusted its basketball level. So from what happened in the last 6 to 7 minutes, and they won in the game. They won the game 106 to 99, and they took a 3-0 lead in the series. About the overall statistics, the Dallas threw for a 44 percentage, and they scored 9 triples, and they made 14 free throws. How I told you here, the big difference was that the Dallas scored less than 10 triples, and this was one of the reasons why they lost the game. And by the Celtics side, they threw for a 46%, and they made 70 triples. So this was the big difference to win the game, because you can see here that the Dallas just made 9 triples, and the Celtics made 70 triples. And in the paint, the Mavericks won the paint by 60-point difference, 52 to 36. So in the individual statistics by the Mavericks side, the best player was Kyrie Irving, that scored 35 points. Remember that he didn't play a very great basketball in the first 2 games in Boston, but in this game played a tremendous basketball level, but it wasn't enough. The second best player was Luka Doncic with 27 points, but remember that he was foiled out in the last 4 minutes of the game. And the third best player was PJ Washington with 30 points. But what was the problem? That in the game, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving just played, and they didn't receive a lot of support from the rest of the players, and that was one of the reasons why they lost the game, because they needed the PJ Washington, Derrick Jones, Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively second, John Green scored more than 20 points to win this game. And by the Celtics side, they played a tremendous basketball level, where Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown scored each one 30 points. Jason Tatum scored 31 points, and Derek White scored 60 points. And something to talk about the Drew Holiday, he scored just 9 points, but he play a tremendous basketball level in the defense side, and he is one of the reasons why the Celtics are leading this series 3-0. And to be honest, it was, in my opinion, it was a very error from the Milwaukee Bucks to make a trade because between the Damian Lillard and Drew Holiday, because in my opinion Drew Holiday is a tremendous player, and he's better player than Damian Lillard. So what's next? The game 4 will be this next Friday 14 and 20:30 Eastern time. The game will be playing in Dallas, where I think, to be honest, I think that the series is over, and I don't see how the Mavericks are going to win this game, because I think that the Mavericks are not going to recover to what happened in this game, because I thought that the Mavericks were going to win the game 3. So, and also, I need to say sorry for the Celtics, and they need an apology for myself, because I thought that they weren't a very great team, and I thought that the Mavericks had a better team that they have in this moment, but for one reason, the Celtics had the best record in the regular season, and they didn't battle alone to win the Eastern Finals, the Eastern Conference. So, in my opinion, I think that the Celtics will sweep the series, will win the 4th game by 5 or 10 point difference, and they will leave his 17th title in the NBA history. I'm very sad for this, because if the Celtics are going to win these titles, they're going to overpass the Lakers as the team with most title in the NBA history. So in this video I talk about what happened in the game 3 in the NBA Finals, where the Celtics dominate the game. In the last minutes of the last quarter, the Mavericks put the motion, but in the end the Celtics got the victory. They took a 3-0 lead in the series, and the most probably is in the game 4, the Celtics are going to win in this next Friday, and they're going to sweep the series. This is all for tonight. See you next video. Gibran.